Okay, good evening, everybody. I want to welcome you to the call for tonight. And let's see, what I'm going to do is I am going to place the I'm going to place the link in the Facebook group here, and then we will go ahead and get started. So let's just go ahead and place that link here, and I'm going to go inside of the group, and we'll just write this in here. And let's see, I think I can put the YouTube link in here also. I think that would be helpful. Let's go ahead and put this in the box here also, just in case somebody wants to join by YouTube, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Okay. All right. So hopefully everybody can see my screen. Good evening, everybody. And we'll go ahead and get started. So tonight we're going to be talking about working with outdated content, and the wedding site I did with Dave Iego. I remember the product. I don't remember the name. Okay. Very good. Looking forward to reacquainting myself with you. Thanks for letting me know. All right, so let's talk about working with outdated PLR content, and uh, I want to start and just briefly go through what we talked about before. I think about 2 weeks ago, because it kind of serves as a context. So, in other words, this is sort of where you have to be in order to be able to do some of the stuff I'm going to be talking about now. So, in other words, let me just kind of go back through this. So, if you want to position yourself using PLR, right, whether you're going to sell it or whether or not you're going to use it as content, you want people to be attracted to you, right? You want people to hear your insights. So it's not enough just because you have PLR video and the instruction is good, that you want people still to hear from you, right? So I don't think that it is enough for you to record over the things that I say. And I talked about that in my email today. I believe that you should be offering insights. You want people to associate you with higher level strategy. They shouldn't be associating you with I'd say the geeky part, or the straightforward sort of plain explanation of things. Those are introductory matters. Now, some people, obviously it's not introductory, but the tech stuff is stuff that you really want to leave to someone else. That shouldn't be what you should be explaining. You want people to associate you with a point of view, right? So it's not enough, I think, just to give instruction, right? You take the instruction and you give it context. That means that the PLR that you buy, the PLR that you are using, should be a component, right? That is the context. It should be a component. It should not serve as everything. It should be surrounded. You should be wrapping your component with your insight. You should be wrapping around it with your strategy. You should be wrapping around it with what people should be doing. It should come from your perspective. And one of the things I said in the last training is I don't think it's necessary for you to take a video or even a written piece and do it all over, right? And just write it all over from your to pretend that it's you. I personally think that you should be taking at least video content and you should be wrapping around that content with something that's really real, case studies, insight, something that you heard that's recent, but not just regurgitating what someone else did. The question is, how do you do this with PLR video? And this is what we talked about 2 weeks ago. Once we answer that, the same PLR We talked about the steps in terms of customizing PLR video. This is 2 weeks ago. We talked about you want to get PLR with engaging audio, right? We talked about the fact that you want to make sure you get good, solid instruction. Now that's a must. So don't go get any instruction. Just make sure at the very minimum that this is something that if you had to learn yourself, you would say, okay, you know what? This is good enough for me to learn from. It's good enough for me to use to teach someone else. Then record a contextual front bumper. So, in other words, you take the good instruction and then you put a front bumper on there. In other words, you tell people, hey, what you're about to see is our our training partner explaining to you how to use cPanel. And you go into what they're about to see and you tell them what's important. You even tell them what people are leaving out. You record a contextual back bumper with a call to action. So, in other words, the last voice people should hear on the video should be your portion on there saying something like, now you've seen how to get started with cPanel. You've seen how to get started using Fantastico. We have a guide on our site that'll show you how to take Fantastico and do more with it than you ever thought imaginable. And you give people a call to action. You tell them either they got to go opt in or they got to do your advanced course, whatever the case is. But the contextual back bumper should come with a call to action, but it should be your voice, right? You should then record additional videos in the course. So in other words, typically when we do technical videos, we give you 20 videos, right? Once you record that contextual back bumper, you should really be recording additional videos. Why? Well, those additional videos really do give your authority to the whole project. So in other words, the front bumper should be done in PowerPoint. The back bumper should be done in PowerPoint. Then your additional videos should be done in PowerPoint. And then what happens is that the authority of the entire course is associated then with you and not with me, right? So now before, and again, we used to talk about the fact we splice these videos together with YouTube editor, and then you download the videos from YouTube, you bundle up the new videos. In other words, so regardless of what you use, right now I'm suggesting now you use Camtasia since the YouTube editor is no longer functional. It used to be that you could upload all the stuff to YouTube and you could mix it together there, and you didn't have to have a video editor. But now you really do have to have one. I know that there's some that are free, but I really suggest that you get Camtasia. Right, bundle up the new videos and then cross post them, and then so I went into an explanation that I was this weight loss coach and so on and so forth. But I don't want to spend time on that. But that's just so you'll have the context, because this is the way you should be working with video. Right? You get good instruction, and then you take that good instruction and you wrap yourself around the instruction. You wrap yourself around it. You are the voice. You are the authority. You are the person that people are buying from. You don't want them fully to be buying from just you redoing things in my voice. Plus, it'll take you forever to do that. Right? Have you ever tried to match up a video where you're doing the reading? It does not make sense to do it that way, because you don't even get the leverage in terms of what I've done for your time, right? So you want to be able to get that leverage. Now, and I went into how you record the front bumper, but that's not what I'm going to do tonight. I want to talk about what if you buy into this, right? If you buy into this in terms of how you use PLR video, then what do you then do with outdated content, right? What does that mean? It means then that you are the authority, and the content is not the authority, right? So I want to make sure you get that. You are the authority. The content that you buy is not the authority. You have to be the authority. Let's see. I got a question. Yeah, if you can, if you have a question, go ahead and write it in there, and then when it fits, I'll answer it. If it falls in at the end, I'll answer it. But if it fits now, I'll answer it. So yeah. So you are the authority. The content is not, right? So make sure that you sort of really get that, because you really want to be the one that when they buy the course, that they associate the real high level strategy with you. And you know what that means then? That means then you really do have to know what's going on. So again, understanding that PLR is a component, I still think that, let's say you were buying a PLR version of Facebook ads. At minimum, You need to know how Facebook ads fits into the niche that you are selling to, right? You've got to be able to at least make that connection. Now, again, I I understand that you should be able to what's the term? Slap your name on it and then just kind of put it up for sale. And now, if you're really fast, you can get it up. And if you, as long as you're not selling inside of this market, right? The JVZoo Warrior Plus market, then you're fine. But I don't know that you can still do that, right? I don't know if you're going to be able to sell within that market. And I don't even know if you want to, right? Because you're going to have to keep the price low because of the fact that there are other people the same copy. And again, if you're doing it the way I'm telling you to do it, you don't have to worry about other people having the PLR because you are providing the value, right? The question as to whether or not, well, there are 100 other people who bought it, that's irrelevant, right? That's totally irrelevant. Just like I'm going to show you that outdated is irrelevant also if you buy into what I'm telling you to do with the PLR content. You still need to have knowledge about something. So, in other words, yes, let's say that the subject is CPA marketing. Well, you need to know a little bit about CPA marketing. Yes, you bought the PLR. Yes, you got a sales letter, but you need to know a little bit because, again, you've got to wrap yourself around this content, and then you've got to be the one to provide the context and then the value that allows you to then take the PLR that maybe you bought for $10 and sell it for 27. Right? You can't now. If you just think you're going to buy something for $9, you're going to resell it for 27 in the same market. You're not going to do that, right? And it's not even meant for you to do that. What it's meant for is for you to provide some additional value, provide some additional bonuses, provide some case studies, but basically to provide the context. Now, no content, right? No content. This is really important, and I think you've heard other marketers talking about using a slant. Slant, right, is the word. Here's how I say that. No content becomes authoritative until you link it to your niche. Zero, right? Because no content is one size fits all. PLR is really designed for you to be able to take it, recontextualize it, and make it fit your niche. Listen, you can a multi-level marketer who knows what they're doing can take a PLR course on Facebook marketing and turn it into something fantastic if they're marketing to, let's say, other multi-level marketers. Let's say they're a multi-level marketing leader. They want to take that PLR on Facebook marketing, and they're going to contextualize it for who? Multi-level marketers, right? And he can sell it then for whatever he wants to sell it for because it's about the context. It's the context that provides the authority. It's not the content. The context, right? The context provides the authority. The content does not. Now, so here's what you want to be asking, right? So let's say that you got a Facebook ads course, but it's old, right? It's, let's say you bought it back in January, but the rules have changed. What's outdated? Right? So if you know a little something about Facebook ads and you know what's outdated about it, this is important. If you can explain what that difference is, the content can still be used. What used to work when you used it that way? So, in other words, the video talks about going about doing Facebook ads a certain way, but now you can't do it that way. What did it used to do? What used to work? Can you explain that? If you can explain that, that content can still be used. Again, why is it now outdated? Right? Why is it outdated now? If the method is now outdated, again, what you are doing, you're still wrapping around the video and you're providing context. And so basically now, instead of just explaining the niche, you're explaining what used to be and why it's now outdated. What should people be doing in its place now? So, in other words, let's say that if again, if we stick on this subject of Facebook ads, and now maybe they shouldn't use a certain kind of image, they should be using another image now. What should people be doing in its place? You should be able to make that connection. You take the outdated content, you wrap around it by telling people, okay, this is what used to happen. These are the steps people used to go through. Now I'm going to show you what you should be doing, or now I'm going to explain to you what you should be doing. And here's the thing, right? With the rate at which things change, how many people really know something is outdated? right? How many people really know? Most people don't. Most people don't keep up with the changes. Now, one of the things that you're doing when you buy PLR is you are buying something that hopefully will be updated reasonably. But let's say that it falls out of date, right? If you can still explain, if you are the expert in your niche, it's your job to be able to explain what's outdated and what's not. Right, but the content is still usable because you are going to make the connection. Now, this is where you and I can add value to the content, right? Doesn't matter if it's outdated. Um, how do you structure the new videos, right? So let's say you got the outdated content. How do you do? In your commentary, you're going to explain to people what made this old way work. Why did it work this way? You're going to also explain why, when it went outdated. You're going to explain why it went outdated. You're going to talk about what people can avoid in the future. You know what? Now, here's an interesting thing that not a lot of people do in your videos. You can separate yourself and make yourself unique just by doing this. When people use, and we talk about a lot about social platforms which change almost every 6 months or so. Well, what kind of things can your buyer avoid in the future? And we're going to talk specifically about YouTube here in a minute, and I'll give you an example of this. Um, so in other words, you can also compare the old method with the new method, right? You can also compare the old interface with the new interface. You can also compare the old results with the new results. If you're working with over the shoulder video, again, all you're going to do is you're going to wrap around the video with PowerPoint. You are going to talk to people about what they're about to see. You're going to explain why the method is outdated. You're going to explain to people at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you now what you should be doing, but you're still using the content and you're still making use of it by taking it and wrapping around the content. And again, you are adding on more PowerPoint videos at the end of the course, right? So if you buy a 20 video course and you wrap around all 20 videos, you add 6 videos at the end to again provide more context. Let's see, I got a question. You said that you're the, I said that I'm the authority, the content is. What happens if I have a blog and I am the authority? I also have a health blog that I can't make myself the authority. How do you get around that? Well, okay. So you still need to have relevant information where you can connect to people where they are. So let's say that you have this health blog and you can't necessarily make yourself the authority. Well, you go and get other people who are authorities. So in other words, I mean, I'm not a big fan of guest blogging, but I'm a big fan of interviews, right? So I'm a big fan of going to get someone. And again, if you don't want to be the person to do the interview, and you don't mind spending a few dollars, get somebody to do the interview for you. Or, I mean, if you don't mind being the person whose voice is on there, then what I would do is I would certainly go and just interview somebody. And I think I've done some training on my site where I've talked about using HARO, Helper Reporter Out, and finding some experts in your niche, and then really finding those experts who can address those subjects that are hot in that niche. That's just one way to do it. That's the way I personally would do it because it's the easiest and it tends to be the most authoritative. And if you don't mind doing an audio interview or a video interview, it's the fastest. You can then take that content, you can then have it transcribed, and that's a great way actually to wrap around what's considered to be outdated. Right. So that's how I would answer that question. Right. Great question. Okay, so let's talk, for example. Okay, so in the old version of this training, right? I used to talk about using the YouTube editor, but the YouTube editor went away. So what should people use now? Right. So if I were going to redo that video, here's what I would do. I'd be talking about their alternatives. What are their alternatives? Right. You explain what the alternatives are. I would demonstrate the new alternative. And I actually did that. Right. So in other words, I actually in the last training that I did, I demonstrated how you do this now on Camtasia. Right. I would apply Camtasia to this concept. Right. So again, if you look at the old training, the training I did 2 weeks ago, I basically took the concept and then applied it to Camtasia, even though YouTube editor went away. And then what if, right? So you explore the what if, what else can you do? Now, here's why that's important. I can then use, if I were to redo the video, I can then use the alternatives as monetization. So in other words, I'm going to say, right, I'm going to direct people to Camtasia. I'm going to direct people to the affiliate program, my affiliate link. I'm going to direct people to my Amazon affiliate link for Adobe Audition. I'm going to direct people to my Screencast-O-Matic referral program link. And so basically, every time I get the chance, right, when I'm going to redo these alternatives, I'm definitely directing people to my affiliate program. And again, all I'm really doing by doing this is taking old content, pushing, and so here's what here let's talk about what happened. Right, I have a concept that's outdated. I take that old concept, I explain what's new, and what do I do with it? I direct people to my affiliate links. Does everybody get that? So basically, I still make use of the old content. I make use of the old content by doing what? By sending people to my affiliate link with the new link with the new stuff. Right. So if you get that, put the number 4 in the chat box if you understand what I'm saying. Right. So let's see. So what's Harrow? Harrow is help a reporter out. Jim. It's called Help a Reporter Out. If you Google Help a Reporter Out, yeah, you'll see it's called Harrow. Right? You'll see it's called Harrow. All right. So basically, we take the old content, we wrap around it, we explain what's new, and then we take the new and we direct people to stuff to buy from us. Right? Whatever they need to update it, they go buy it from you. Right? Yeah, Harrow's a website. Let me see if I can show it to you. I'll see if I can show it to you. Uh, let's see if I can do this. Arrow. Yeah, here it is. Helperreporter.com. Right. And I think an account here is free. I'll put that here in the box. Yep. Helper Reporter. Okay. Any questions? Any other questions? Okay. Okay. So we just released the repurpose masterclass. Again, now if you're an ultimate insider, please do not bias. Right. So if you're an insider, you don't have to get it. It's already part of the inside there. But if you're not, you can still get it here. I'm gonna have it available for another couple of days. Everything I make here is gonna go to my oldest daughter at school, since she was the one that kind of helped me put this together. So I don't know if that tugs on your heartstrings any, but but you know, okay, so that's the plrshow.com/recreate, right? plrshow.com/recreate. You can get the repurpose masterclass. And also remember we have our QuickBooks videos, right? Came out last Thursday. You can get that at the plrshow.com/new, right? And if you're not signed up for our daily newsletter, you can do that at the plrshow.com. And every day we talk about PLR, every day, twice a day, and try to give you some strategies, give you some tools, and some things to think about with your PLR. You can also join our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups / the PLR show. And try to keep my updates over there confined to just kind of what's happening. And then there's also our training channel, youtube.com / game mindshare. You can see everything that we've done there on PLR. And then also, you want PLR on just about anything technical. John and I are making our way to try to cover just about everything that there is technical. Right. So I'm not even sure how long that's going to take, but we're gonna try. So you can do that at the plrexperts.com. Right. So we do technical on screen videos, and we're trying to make our way through the marketing world and cover everything. Right. Uh, okay, so how would you use QuickBooks? Well, there are a couple of ways, and I think I talked about this in um uh I think I did a call on um Thursday. But here, okay, so one thing I would definitely do right away, right, is I would do the QuickBooks affiliate program, right, without hesitation. Right, I'll show you where that is. Because I mean, people are just gonna always need this, right? So they're always gonna need it, and you can just drive traffic to this thing. If you didn't do anything else other than just drive traffic to this, right? I would do that. And another thing that I've really been talking about, and I'm gonna continue to talk up, and not because, and trust me, my wife will tell you that I'm not. I don't even know if I'm the biggest Amazon fan in the world. However, I would say that this is something that uh, you need to do, right? Get an influencer store, right? Get your name, just like you want to get your name, whatever your brand name is. Go ahead, get your influencer store and get the name, right? Get your personal name or get your brand name, one of them. So whatever you got to do. I don't, I did it based on my YouTube channel. You can do it based on whatever you have that looks like you have a lot of social media going on, but get it. And because basically what you can do with this store is you can put your Amazon affiliate link to just about anything. And so I would have my Amazon affiliate link for QuickBooks here, right? And Amazon is going to give you a storefront, and then you just drive people to the storefront, right? To get their QuickBooks. And when people buy stuff on Amazon, I mean, people are impulsive. They're not just going to buy QuickBooks, they're going to buy a bunch of other junk. So, you know, and you're going to get credit for it, right? So I would do that also. So those are two ways, just kind of out the box, that you could use the content even if you never sold the course. And in fact, I don't even know if I would even recommend you selling the course. I would use it this way personally, right? I would keep people on my site. I'd be driving them to my Amazon, right? I'd be pushing them to Amazon with every video, right? I'd wrap around those videos, give them my perspective, then tell them at the end of the video, if you want to learn more, go over to this link, and I'd give them a link to my Amazon affiliate store, and where they could get QuickBooks, right? And TurboTax, all that other stuff, right? Right? That was actually a great question. So, any other questions? Any other questions? It's about 9:31, 9:31, and yeah, so I got you out of here on time. And so with that, thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate y'all being here. Oh yeah, and by the way, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go ahead, and I don't know if you're watching this on if you're watching this on um, the uh, my webpage, right? If you're watching this on my webpage, you can refresh that link. And if you refresh the link, you can just go to the continue button. You can get repurposed mastermind through that link, right? The link right down at the bottom of the page if you're watching this on the site. Otherwise, you can just go to the link that I have there. All right. Any other questions? Okay, so someone's asking me about the insider program. Yeah, it's actually it's a membership I started a while back, and at at this point, I never did change the price on it, and yeah, so it's closed at this point, but I have to figure out when I'm going to reopen it and how much I'm going to charge. I can't charge what I'm charging now. So I just never did change the price. I need to change the price. I've been too busy and probably too lazy. So eventually I will though. Eventually I will. Any other questions? All right, everybody. Well, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you all. Appreciate you all coming out. It was an impromptu call, and haven't really been doing as much training as of recently. I think I'm pretty much here now. My wife and I, we probably have one more conference to go to, but other than that, I'm pretty much here for the rest of the year, God willing. So, with that, thank you very much, everybody. Have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.